5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 6 of Revisited with Si and Stu. My name's Simon, and joining me as always is Stuart.
Hello, 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 hello. Good evening,
Stuart,
guys.
so if you didn't get it from the intro credits or last week's little teaser, Stuart, would you like to tell the good folks at home what we've been watching this week, please?
This is episode 6, ladies and gents. I told you last week that this would be the last one of the series that we do of a sitcom. But next week, we will be bringing you a very special episode of bloopers. Yes,
goodness.
believe me, they do happen. Yes.
Wow, do they?
Yeah. But I can tell you that this week we have been watching series 1, episode 1, because you know now that that's my thing, of Sorry. And I say now, sorry. I really do mean it. Yeah.
Well, you say that. I've got a different take on this, mate. I've got a different take on this. Yes, for the folks at home, obviously the link to this is in the blurb at the bottom of the podcast. Please, if you wish, watch the episode yourself. But this episode was first broadcast on the 12th of March, 1981. Stuart, I had no idea this started this early, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually went on for a bit. It lasted for 7 series.
I'd watched many as I was a bit too young at 1981, but I must have watched the sort of later series because I remember watching it as a child.
Yeah, it started in 81, as you say, and it finished in 1988. It went for a total of 42 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah, success wise for series, yeah, it was very good. I mean, for those of you that don't know, Sorry is a sitcom that was written and produced for one half of the comedy legends that are the two Ronnies. And this one was for Ronnie Corbett. This was his vehicle, his first in sort of mainline sitcom. Obviously, for those that do know Ronnie Corbett in the two Ronnies, for years, for decades, they did the absolute fantastic sketch show of the two Ronnies. So he is known as a comedian, as a TV comedian. This was sort of written for him. It was written by Ian Davidson and Peter Vincent, who created the series. Ronnie Barker plays a 41-year-old
Ronnie Corbett.
yeah, Timothy Lumsden. Now, he played a 41-year-old in this series, but at the actual time of recording the first episode of the first series, he was knocking on 51. So there was,
Yeah, I've read that.
there was a 10-year sort of age difference
I think
between.
it shows as well because he's either wearing a bad wig or he's dyed his hair dark.
He does look
Probably.
older than 41. I mean, I'm sort of in my 50s now, and I look not as old as what he does in this.
In this.
Yeah. So he plays Timothy Lumsden. He is a librarian, and he still lives at home with his parents. And his parents, especially his mother, is very, very domineering. And I mean extremely domineering with his life, what he does, how he talks, how he sits, how he dresses, everything like that. And it is just the day to day sort of confrontations that those two characters have. His father, Sidney Lumsden, is very passive, He's the one that says the famous catchphrase, "Language, Timothy." But yeah, it's a very it. I find it's actually quite a dark comedy sitcom, because, like I say, he plays a 41-year-old that's still living at home and cannot live his life. His mother, Barbara Lott, who plays Phyllis Lumsden, absolutely domineering, but plays it absolutely spot on. But also, you want to punch your face in because everything that she does. I mean, the episode opens, like I say, don't forget this is the first one where Timothy's coming home from work. He's just walked through the door. He's wiped his feet, and you hear his mother shout from the kitchen, "Have you wiped your feet?" And he goes, "Yes, I have, mother." Wipe them again. So he grabs something from the side and pretends that that's making the noise of him wiping his feet, which it would have just been easier for him to wipe his feet rather
Yeah, I
than
did
grab
notice that.
yeah, rather than grab this thing and pretend to make the noise of him wiping his feet. He then goes into the kitchen. Now, all I want to say is that this is the first scene with his mother and himself in the kitchen. His mother's going through all the kitchen things, utensils, sorting everything out, see what she wants to throw away. And this scene doesn't last that long, but within this scene, she is constantly on him. It's wipe your feet. She spit washes his face. It's open your mouth. It's checking his hands are clean before eating. Get your elbows off the table. It's that kind of domineering that she does with him at home, but also within his life in general. He can't do anything.
No, it's funny, and that is a great sort of take on it. I kind of I knew this, and I haven't been and revisited this in a long, long time, Stuart. So this is the first time I've seen it in many years. And one of my fears was, as a child, I used to find it quite funny, some of the interactions, the bickering, and I thought, I'm going to hate the mum, and I'm going to hate the premise, and I'm going to hate his retaliation towards her. I was very pleasantly surprised that I didn't. I kind of enjoyed the banter, and I think that's credit to Barbara Lott and Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah, it all depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could look at it as the comedy in which it is, and get what you get from that. But I really do think there is a dark side to it.
Very much, yeah. I mean, I've made a few notes, and we'll get into the episode because I want to sort of go on to that first scene. But I found this. There was part of me screaming at Ronnie Corbett, "Grow a backbone."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, tell her no. And throughout the episode, and again, we'll come on to this, folks, when we sort of go through the scenes as we always do. I the bits he kept saying, "Oh, I have to phone mother." It's like he couldn't forget, and there was a little part of him didn't want to forget.
Oh, yeah, that runs all the way through this
They
episode.
they needed each other
Yeah, yeah.
despite his hatred of her running his life, spoiling everything for him. That and there's a little bit, you're right, it's like a dark comedy that I found really, really good, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
What I will say is that although that it is dark, there's a little part of me that the overbearingness, it was the malice that she did it, the mum. I totally get that's the character. I totally get that's the point. But you are absolutely right. He does things because he's a bit scared of his mum and he doesn't want to upset her and he
Oh,
does
yeah,
love
there's a
her.
massive fear there, yeah,
Yeah, and I
with
take
him.
that all day. What I couldn't get is that the mum was cruel.
Yeah, did it out of
And
spite.
yeah,
Yeah.
and every single thing, and this episode is a really good example, is done out of maliciousness. And at that point, I thought, I don't like that. But I will give Barbara Lott her absolute due. She plays it superbly.
Oh,
And,
yeah, she
and
does. Yeah,
the
massively, yeah.
character is a
Yeah.
true tour de force of comedy.
Yeah, it we
Um,
quite easily to dislike, the character. It really was because, like I say, everything she said, everything she did out of spite.
yeah,
She would maintain that she loved him and did it for care and this and that, but no, I don't think it was. I think there was a proper sort of sense of control
Yeah.
with her.
But we get that first scene. We'll just go back to that. You're right. She picks him up on absolutely everything. I think she makes him eat a 4-year out of date pickled onion and
That's
then a
right. Yeah,
clove.
1942, I think it was from. Yeah,
Oh
she
God!
just
Just because she
grabbed
doesn't
where
like
the
waste.
open your mouth came from. She just went, "Open your mouth." He did it, and she threw it in.
Yeah,
And that
and
was
and I got a couple of things here. I made a couple of notes of this, Stuart. We pick up that he's part of the amateur dramatics because he's wanting to go out with it being Wednesday. He normally goes
that's
to the
right.
amateur
Yep.
dramatics.
Yep.
So we get a little background because don't forget this is episode 1,
Yep.
and you get the impression that she's desperate to cling on to motherhood. She doesn't want to have nothing to do, and I think that's the catch. That if you miss that, you'll hate her character because she's horrible. But if you get that actually she just doesn't want not to be his mum, she doesn't want to be left alone with the father and have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a question while I was sort of looking up on the episode for information of with this being the first episode of the first series, they asked, looking back at it now, did they think that the character Phyllis Lumsden was too controlling too early? And I think no.
No,
I
no,
don't
I
think
think
so.
it
I
works.
think it worked perfectly straight in with the first episode. I think if you'd have let that go over a couple of episodes and then for that to happen, I think
Yeah.
people would have lost interest. And I don't
I,
think that.
I I will also say, and again, I mentioned it briefly. I mean, Ronnie Corbett, a superb comedian in his own right. His delivery and timing is impeccable. Even in that first scene, I was the little bits I was smiling at, and just watching his timing and his reaction. You've got a pro working,
Yeah,
and
there are little bits where you would say to yourself, if you knew him from the two Ronnies, you could tell that he was used to playing sketches. He was
yeah,
predominantly a sketch program actor in a comedy series. You could tell that, and you could tell sometimes watching it that that's kind of where it was going. But then he'd pull it back
yeah,
and sort of carry on, but yeah, very good. Yeah, he is good. I must admit. Yeah.
he is. We then the next scene we get, he's gone. He's been to the amateur dramatics, and he's sat with his friend Tim in the pub,
Well, just
and
before that, don't forget that when he's in the kitchen, he obviously he's wanting to go out. His
oh, he's
mother,
force fed.
his mother's cooked him his tea, plates it up for him, and then walks out the kitchen. And Timothy scrapes everything that he's got in his plates on his plate into a pair of Wellington boots.
To hide
uh,
it. Yeah.
yeah, to hide it. And for some reason, I think it's a raw potato that he
Yeah,
puts.
why is she serving
Yeah,
the raw
I don't know. I don't know that he puts in his pocket because he doesn't think of anywhere else to put it. And then that's where that ends, and we end up in the next scene in the pub. Yeah,
Yeah, we meet his friend Tim, who's you
Frank.
know just a sort of additional character to give
Yeah,
Ronnie
it's
Corbett's
Frank.
character flesh him out a little bit, and they're
You-
talking about
It's still
a new
Frank.
cast member to the amateur dramatics. What are you laughing at now?
No, keep going.
What tickled you?
No, keep going.
Elaine's there. Tell me now, and I'm
No,
turning
no,
this
no,
off.
no, 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 no. Just keep going. Leave all this in. Leave all this in. Keep
Oh
going.
my
You'll find
God!
out when
Right.
you listen. Keep going.
Oh, right. Okay. So we get to know that there's a new lady who's turned up at the Amateur Dramatics called Annette, but we don't physically see her yet, and they're discussing her. And Tim mentions to Ronnie that, oh God, no, it's not Ronnie. It is Ronnie.
He's Frank. This is.
Oh, I've put Tim short for Timothy in my notes.
This is what I was saying right from the
Oh,
beginning. You kept
flip
talking
you. Right.
doing Frank.
You could have pulled me up immediately.
Frank.
How can you leave
No,
that?
this stays in. This stays in. I'll tell you something.
Oh
If you
my,
take this out of the podcast, I'm not publishing it.
oh
It
my
stays in.
goodness.
But
Right,
it's Frank.
okay. So it's
We've
Frank is
got
his
that
friend
sorted
and
now.
Timothy or Tim, as he keeps calling.
Yeah.
It's because it's dark in here and I can't see my notes.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense what you were laughing at now. Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. Right, well, we discover there's a character who's turned up called Annette, and Frank tells Tim that, oh, I think she quite liked you, and he's quite taken by that.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I like the fact that he was asking Frank, "Do you think I looked very macho
oh
during
God.
his amateur dramatics performance?" And of course, if you know Ronnie Corbett, there is no macho-ness about him at all.
No, not at all. And then when Annette arrives, and rightly so, Frank sort of excuses himself to give them a little time to have a conversation. It's his pleading, please don't go, please don't go. He's terrified or doesn't know what to say, doesn't know how to speak to the opposite sex. He's clearly not good at flirting because of his sort of parent trapped home life. And then they have the sort of conversation, and I found it very awkward and very strange.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you said, I mean, Annette thinks that she's going to sit down and talk to a normal, sort of 41-year-old, but doesn't realize that she's going to sit down and talk to Timothy, that's 41-year-old, still lives with his parents, still lives under thumb, and he's very controlled.
I think he says to her he's a confirmed bachelor, and
That
I have to ask, what's a confirmed bachelor?
I don't know. I heard him say that himself, and then he went, "Well,
Not in that sense,
not in
yeah.
that sense." That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm not sure what he meant. I always assumed confirmed bachelor just meant that you were a single man living on
Well,
your own,
it
looking
probably
for.
does, yeah, but he obviously was just making the point that, obviously he still has dalliances and, still sorta takes part in, "Yes, how's your father?"
But then she sort of mentioned, they're getting on quite well, and she says to him, "Oh, you're going on the riverboat excursion tomorrow night," and his response, and I wrote this down, is, "No, mother said no."
That's right, he said that straight away
Straight
and
to
then
her without
straight
thinking.
but then stopped himself, and
Yes.
then went, "No, no, mother doesn't tell me what to do. Yes, of course I am, of course I'm going."
Which I think is a very clever piece of writing, because you can almost imagine him saying he was going there, and she just said, "Oh, no, you're not doing that." And you
Yeah,
don't see it. It's just a
yeah.
throwaway
Oh,
line, but
yeah, you could yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can sense and you can hear that conversation and that being done just from this brief period that we've watched so far in the episode, which I thought was very clever. But then he makes a remark, and I think in the first scene, a mum had referred to the female cast members as brazen hussies,
That's
and
right.
he throws this into the conversation, God knows why, with
Yeah,
Annette.
completely says it to her face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was surprised after he said that, that it went the 20 seconds it did for her to say something about it. If you just said that to a female or anybody now, I mean, you'd have got a smack in the chops and they'd have got up and left straight away. So I kind of thought to myself that that were left a bit long before she reacted to it.
Yeah, she gets up and she's, "Oh, well, I'm gonna be going now," and leaves, and he's rightly annoyed. He tries to sort of call her back. He tries to, "Oh, no, do apologize, blah, blah." But she leaves the pub, and then we get a little 10, 15 second Ronnie Corbett monologue to himself as he's wandering around, and but then, thankfully, as he starts to play the Space Invaders game or whatever it was, she pops
Yeah, it
back
was
in.
Space Invaders, original Space Invaders. Yeah, it
I
was.
did think that,
Yeah,
yeah. When I
mm,
saw it, I thought, "God, I haven't seen that for a long
yeah.
time." But
So that dates it perfectly.
but she comes back, and they're chatting away, and he
Well,
offers her a lift home. Now, we
yeah,
haven't seen him arrive in the pub. We
yeah.
just saw him
Before,
arrive with the drinks.
just before that, though, the phone rings.
Oh, yes.
The phone rings
Yes.
in the pub, and he picks the phone up and immediately says, "Yes, mother." And it was it was his mother ringing the pub.
Because
Uh,
he hadn't phoned her.
that's right, yeah. But I just thought it was very funny how it could have been anybody in that pub that picked that phone up. It could have been for anybody in that pub, but he particularly picked that phone up, and it was his mother over the phone. And like I say, he said, "Yes, mother." And then the next one was, "Yes, I have got a clean hanky." So she'd obviously asked him that. And then as somebody was passing him, he was looking awkwardly around and sort of went very close to the phone and started going
Yeah, blowing kisses.
and blowing kisses down the phone. So she'd obviously said, "Oh, blow me a kiss down the phone." I thought that was a bit weird. I've never
Yeah.
done that to my mother. I've never,
No.
I've never blown my
You've
mother
done it to
kisses
me, but
down
not
the
your mother.
phone. Yes, but that's another podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's a separate thing.
And
But
yes, and then he puts the phone down, and yeah, then she does come back. Yeah,
and he offers her a lift home. Like I said, I started to say, we haven't seen him arrive because he's in the pub when the scene starts, but he's on a motorbike because he produces a bike helmet for her and asks her if she's ridden pillion before, and then steals his friend's helmet. How he thought his friend was going to get home, I don't know.
yeah, Tim.
Puts the helmet on and walks into the wall when he shuts the visor, which, is well done, but it was obvious it was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew as soon as he put that visor down what was going to happen. Yeah,
Yeah. And then l- literally the next scene, we see him on the motorbike. I have never in my life seen a motorbike like that. I'm not sure you can call it a motorbike. It's not
it's a
even a pedal
weird
and pop.
one. Yeah, what a weird one, wasn't it? It was I mean, Ronnie Corbett, if you don't know, is small in stature, but it was a very weird. It was like a pedal bike, with like a lawnmower engine, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's literally
bizarre little thing.
all you could say it were like. Yeah, yeah.
But we move on. He's now got himself a date on the Wednesday, and I think the next scene is he's coming out of work and he stops to buy some flowers.
That's right. Yep. He wants to buy a net sunflowers, and he goes over to the flower stall and buys her some roses. £2, £2
Oh no,
for some roses, and he asked
£6
for
and he got a dozen
yeah,
roses.
he asked for three. Yeah, he asked for three bunches of roses, £6. Wow, where could you get that nowadays? So yeah, so he's bought them to give to Annette. He goes home. The next part is back at home where he's got these flowers on the table. Well, no, again coming up on the bike,
Yeah,
and mother and father's outside doing some pruning and this that, and other. And he gets off the bike, and mother sees these roses that he's taken into the house, and she automatically
yeah,
assumes that these roses are for her, and she's overjoyed.
because he's going to apologise
Yeah,
for upsetting his
yeah,
mum.
that's right. She's looking round at Sydney, her husband, and saying, "Oh, he's a lovely boy. He's a caring boy." Whereas we all know that obviously they're not for her. So she goes inside. She rushes inside, sees the roses on the table, starts getting a vase ready to put them in, and Timothy walks in, and she says, "Oh, lovely Timothy, buying your mother roses and this and the other, aren't you?" And initially, he starts to say, "Well, no, that they're not for." And she's still carrying on by going, "Oh, they're lovely. You bought them for me." And he goes, "Well, yes, I did. I did buy you some roses." And she starts picking them up, and she says, "Oh, there's a card inside." And he says, "Oh, don't read the card." And she reads the card and realizes that these roses were bought for Annette. So then it turns the atmosphere turns. She gets angry with Timothy, saying, "Oh, so you are going then?" To which he's saying, "Yeah, I am going."
This is
Uh,
the first time we've seen it. Like I said, the first interaction between them, I quite like the mum and Timothy, but the nastiness of her
yeah,
that she's
yeah,
deliberately washed all the trousers that he
yeah,
owns
yep,
so that he cannot go out and look respectable and meet this girl. It's a
yeah,
real. I didn't like that. It was like,
yeah.
"Ooh, okay, that's a bit harsh,"
Yeah,
and I guess it's part
he's
of the
asking where
character.
the washing is, where his trousers are, and she's deliberately washed all his trousers. Not even at home. She's taken them out to
Yes, yeah,
what do you call them?
laundrette.
A laundrette. Yeah, and washed all his trousers. He has one pair of trousers that he's holding in his hands, and he says, "I can't wear these." He says, "These aren't clean." So she physically takes these trousers off him, throws them in the washing machine that she's got, which is a
Yep.
top loader, if anybody can remember those, and turns it on immediately. So once again, she's not only taken all the trousers that were perfectly clean to wash those, she's taken the only pair that he could have worn and washed those, all for spite.
Yeah, and I struggled with that bit because I thought, no, that's not that's. I get that the character's supposed to be domineering, but that's
Yeah, yeah. It's like I said
malicious.
at the beginning. It could be. It's a very dark sort of series, and it depends on how you interpret it.
But to get round this, and it shows Timothy's, all prepared to sort of argue with his mum. He says, "Well, the only thing I can wear is the Dick Whittington costume that he had from the last amateur dramatics performance, where he was the cat." So he
Yeah,
actually goes out
yeah,
dressed in what is like a party dress cat, furry
yeah,
cat.
yeah. The next shot is him coming out of his front door, dressed in this cat costume, literally just a circle of his face that's him showing. He's got the ears, the tail, everything like that. And he gets on his bike and he drives off to this riverboat dance. Yeah.
Right. We get to the riverboat and he's inside having a drink. It's a very short scene just to introduce the fact that Frank's with him. And then he goes to talk to Annette outside on the deck of the riverboat. That absolutely, and I'm not lying here, pissing it down with rain, and they're still filming it, which is a little
Yeah,
bit
I
bizarre.
thought that, to be quite honest, I mean, because of the age of the program and some scenes are hard to sort, it's not HD or anything like that. And I had to look really closely because I thought, is it just a bit windy or is it
No, it was
actually
absolutely hammering it down.
breathing it down? Yeah, and it was. Yeah, it was
And
literally.
it's shot at night as well. But anyway, I mean, he's in a furry cat costume. He's not going to care. He's
Yeah,
one's toast, bless him. But
yeah.
I think he sits with Annette and they start talking. And his first sort of line to her is, "Oh, I suppose I better ring mother and let her know I'm okay." And you're thinking, why are you saying this to this lady that you're trying to impress?
Yeah, the kind of whole conversation is obviously you're thinking that these two are going to get together and have a nice evening, but he is so obsessed and so scared of his mother.
Yeah.
He wants to appease her
And
that
I think he
he's
genuinely loves
more.
her. And he says,
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
I think there is. Yeah, but I think there's sort of
fear.
fear there,
But
and
there's a part where he sort of tries to convince Annette that he's there to look after his mum and dad. He's only at home because it's better for them.
yeah,
And you can hear the mum saying that to him as he
yeah,
delivers it. I
yeah.
don't know if it's a perfect performance from Ronnie or it's just part of it, but you get this feeling that he believes that. Or
Oh,
he's
yeah,
trying to
he's trying to convince himself.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
he's
trying
trying
to
to
convince
convince
Annette even
himself
that that's the
and
reason that he's still
everybody
at
that he
home.
speaks to, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the fear is installed in him, and he just is obsessing about wanting to get hold of his mum, to the point of where he asks Annette if he can borrow a fiver
I
for a
know.
telephone call. Leaves the boat, and there's the old-fashioned red sort of phone call box there, and tries ringing his mother. No answer. He tries ringing again. No answer. By this point, the lads back at the boat are getting a bit sort of peeved with him that he's not sort of getting involved with the party atmosphere. So they all go out and basically
Drag
hijack,
him back.
yeah, and drag him back to the boat. Again, once he's in the boat, he's still obsessed. Oh, mother hasn't
Yeah, he's racked
answered
with guilt.
twice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he starts sort of trying to make excuses to Annette by saying, "But she could have fallen." Well, and she responded, "Well, wouldn't your father have rung them?" And then he comes back with, "But they both could have fallen at the same time."
Yeah.
So it's like excuse after excuse after excuse. By this point, Annette's had enough. She knows that it's not going to go anywhere. She can see what's happening.
Yeah.
And basically, she throws the flowers and she asks where Jeffrey is and walks off to meet Jeffrey. And that is the last we see of Annette for
Yeah,
the.
I mean, I can't blame him at all.
No,
He
not at
then he then, "Oh my god, I better get home and make sure mother's okay," stands up and turns, and I didn't see it, so I did like it. just falls straight into the river.
Yeah, I didn't realize the boat had moved away from
No.
the side. But yeah, jumps straight into the river, swims to shore, and rushes it back home. Now the
He
next shot
gets back
is
home. It's clever, and we have missed a bit. And we ought to have said this earlier because it sets this up cleverly. When he said to his mum he was going to go out in the cat costume if he didn't have any trousers, and she almost says, "You wouldn't dare." And he says, "Oh, trust me, I would." And she says, "If you do that, I will never
never,
speak to
yeah,
you
never
again."
speak
And
to
he's
you
like, "Oh,
again.
great,
That's right.
deal done."
Yeah,
And kind of spurs him to do it. But then as he bursts back home after falling in the river and he's wet through in his cat costume and he's running around the house shouting, "Mother, mother!" He opens the sort of living room door and there's the mum and dad sat there. Dad's half asleep, mum's crocheting or reading, whatever she's doing.
yeah.
And he says, "Why didn't you answer the phone? I rang twice." She said, "Yes, I know you did." "Well, why didn't you answer the phone?" And she just says, "I told you I'd never speak to you again."
Yeah.
And you kind of get the pettiness and the level that she'll go to
Yeah. Yeah,
just to
again, very much done out of spite. Yeah,
knowing it would ruin his evening.
yeah. I mean, well, I mean, they both said to each other, they both ruined each other's evening. They both said that they both ruined each other's lives. Timothy then comes out with an outburst and he's leaving home. That's it. He's had enough. He's leaving. So he starts to walk towards the front door. Mother gets up, going after him. Basically, she says to him, "Good riddance to bad rubbish."
Yeah.
And as Timothy walks out of the door, she slams the door behind him. And the last shot is Timothy tries to walk away in his cat costume, but then realizes that as his mother's closed the door, she's trapped his tail in the
Yeah.
door. And he turns round and obviously he's trying to pull his tail from under the door. So even then, when he wants to leave, he still can't leave.
Just
All
pulls him back.
because
She's
his
got hold of
mother.
him. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a clever little sort of play on it,
it is.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very, you're
yeah.
trapped and I've got you.
Yep. And that is literally where that episode ends.
What did you think of it overall, Stuart?
Overall, I mean, I'll be honest, I watched it a couple of times. The first one, I just watched it for what it was. And then I did a little bit of research on it. And then when I'd done the research, I watched it again. And it's when you do the research on it and then you watch it again, you do see it in a completely different way. Like I say, it's advertised, it comes across as a situation comedy. It's what you know Ronnie Corbett for. But like I said, Timothy's trapped by fear,
Yeah.
habit, and his mother's manipulation.
I found it really good. I've only
Oh,
watched
it
it
is
once.
good. It's clever. It's clever, but
Yes,
it is
that's it.
dark. Because again, one of the questions was, is it a cozy comedy with a dark premise, or is it a dark comedy disguised as a cozy comedy?
Oh, I think it's definitely a dark comedy deliberately disguised to look cozy like a home
Yeah,
life. I think it's definitely the
there's
latter.
definitely darkness in it. Definitely.
I thought, I've got to be honest, I went back and I was a little bit, as I said at the start of the podcast, I was a little bit worried about this, Stu, because I thought, oh, I'm going to hate this. I didn't. I thought the performances were fantastic.
Mhm.
I thought Ronnie Corbett, especially Barbara Locke,
Barbara. Barbara
were,
Locke
were
is brilliant playing that time.
it's
Yeah.
you couldn't cast anybody else. It's perfect.
No. Yeah.
His timing, her timing, their interactions, they work so well together that you don't get much of the dad in this episode.
Not in this one, no. But he's really not very much different at any other time. He's
No.
very passive. I
Yeah.
mean, even in this episode, there's one point where Timothy turns around and tells his father to shut up.
Yeah.
So he
He just
shouts
takes it.
it at him, and his father just goes, "Okay," and that's it.
Yeah. He's so downtrodden by
yeah, he doesn't want
the mother.
to interfere with anything. He doesn't
If
want
I
to
lay down,
see
it'll be a
the
quiet life.
arguments. Oh yeah, Mark. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Stuart, as we always do, good points. I think we've just done a couple.
Yeah, yeah. There's quite a lot of good points.
Yeah.
Barbara Lott, I think she steals it actually.
Yeah, just she edges
Ronnie
it. Just
Corbett is fantastic. We know what Ronnie Corbett's good for, but Barbara Lott, yeah, I think she takes
I've got
it.
to say this is the first one that we reviewed, and this is episode 6, so we've watched 6 now.
Yeah,
This is the first one that I did chuckle at as I
yeah,
went through it. There were some
yeah,
really clever little bits of dialogue,
yeah,
interactions between Timothy and his mum,
yeah.
and that I thought, okay, and I could have quite happily sat and watched another episode, and
Yeah.
I cannot say that about some of them we've watched.
Yeah. What, all of the 5?
I could have probably watched Duty Free and maybe one of Heidi High, and that would have been it. But yeah, honestly. Uh, so okay, bad points.
Bad points. The only kind of bad thing I could say about it is we know, I know, you know, everybody listening to this knows that this is real life for some
Yeah.
people out there.
Yeah.
It happens. It goes on, which is very sad. But again, whether they've tried to make light of a serious subject, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
that's
it's worth mentioning, Stuart, and well done because it is, and it's hard when the mum is doing things that you can see
correct.
are out of malice,
Yeah.
deliberateness, controlling.
Yeah.
That is obviously
Yeah.
it's that bit hasn't aged
Yeah,
well.
I would say if
at
you're
all.
going to watch it and you're going to watch the series, watch it just for what it is.
Yeah,
Don't
enjoy
go
it for
too
its
deep
silliness.
into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Right, sir. As you know, as always, it's quiz time, and as you chose this episode, we've got 5 little questions for you. And again, because
here we
you
go.
absolutely tore into me, if you don't get 5 out of 5, no
I'm
pressure.
not going to get 5 out of 5. I've never
these are
yet
pretty
got
simple.
5 out of 5. You say that every time, but it's your episode. It doesn't matter.
Oh, well, here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, your starts for 10, and I need both names. You notice what I did there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What is the mother's name?
Phyllis Lumsden.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah,
That's well done. That's the best start you've ever made.
it is. Yeah. What? Get it first question right. Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. What is Timothy's job?
He's a librarian.
Yes. Well, there. You're very good today. You're very good. See if you can end this series on a high note, shall we?
Oh, this is where it all goes downhill now.
Question 3. What does Timothy say he is to Frank in the pub?
Ooh.
And we have mentioned this in the podcast.
Oh, no, I'm gonna have to. That's gone.
Oh no, I thought you were going to get this. A confirmed bachelor.
Yes, 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 yep. Yeah, go
Question
on.
4. What is the father's catchphrase?
Language, Timothy.
Well done. Yes, very good. Very good. And the last question, question 5. What pudding does the mum try and force upon him?
Spotted dick.
Yes. Well,
Yes,
that is your best score, 4 out of
it is.
5.
Yeah, I'm well chuffed with that.
You really should be. That's fantastic. Well done. I thought you'd get 5. I honestly thought you'd get 5.
Huh? Yeah, no, yeah, I slipped up with that one, didn't I? Yeah, I was trying to think of another profession, but yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. So, as we said earlier in the episode here, folks, that this is the last of series 1. We're not taking a break. Don't worry. We'll be back with series 2. We just thought that if we allocated 6 episodes to each series, we'd fall in line with the British sitcom formula. We're going to release a special edition next week, which is some of the bloopers, many of which you may have already heard in this podcast. Where, as you can imagine, it doesn't always quite go as we planned. Frank or Tim or whatever you want to be called.
Yes. Right
Swine
then.
laughing at me
So
about that.
before we sign out on this, Simon, are we going to rank?
Oh, yes, well remembered,
Yeah.
because we've forgotten before. I've got to be honest, Stuart, and I'll say this outright. I know Duty Free is a big, big, big favourite, and that at the moment is the best we've seen. But I've got to say, this is up there. It's nowhere near the top. It's at the bottom of the list.
Go on. What are you going to say then?
I would watch this again. I think Duty Free is currently number 5,
Yep.
as in the bottom, the best of what we've seen. I would put this at 5 and move Duty Free to 6. I think it's good. I could have happily watched more of it. I'm not sure I'd want to watch absolutely every episode, but it is light years ahead of the likes of Slinger's Day, Beaching, and last week's trudged Fine Romance.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, just for the fact that this is probably the first one where we've
Laugh?
tried to look at the negative of something and not found that much negative.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we've found more good in this than we have the other ones.
Yeah, and
So
the scope for this, even this is
yeah,
like you say, you've picked series 1, episode 1. You can see the scope of the characters.
y-
We said in Duty Free it was the same joke over and over, and that worked for a short period of a sitcom. Some of the others we've watched, I'm
yeah,
amazed they've got a second episode, let alone
yeah,
a
yeah,
second series.
yeah. Yeah, and they went full force. They went at it, hammer and tongs for
Yeah,
first episode of first series. They didn't sort
yeah,
of
yeah. And it
lead
sets the
you into
whole
anything
scene. You now
else. Yeah,
know
yeah,
every character, their details. It's not half-assed. It's not, softly done. It's
no,
there.
yeah.
Are you happy with 5, or would you prefer it went?
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think that it would then make the worst of the 6 a fine romance.
Yeah.
It would then make the next one, oh, Dr. Beechin.
Yes.
It would then make the next one, Slinger's Day.
Oh God, I've forgotten how bad these were.
In third place, it would then be Heidi High.
Can I just stop you there? Right, we slated Heidi High, and rightly so, when we were doing the
Yeah.
first podcast, the episode 1. How good does Heidi High look compared
Correct,
to the
yeah.
first 3?
Yeah, and that's why you surprise yourself when you come to ranking them, because
Yeah.
you think, oh, that's definitely gonna be. I mean, yeah, I mean, a fine
I
romance.
didn't
I
think
don't
when
think
we
that
watched
would be any
Beaching.
other way.
Yeah, I didn't think when we watched Beaching that
They
this
were gonna be out
series of
worse.
6 would beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And Slinger's Day came close. I've given
yeah,
you your dues,
yeah.
and a fine romance, and I can only apologise for wasting 30 minutes of your life to have to watch that, Stuart. But
Yeah. So that means that the ranking for this series is in first place, which is the worst, is A Fine Romance. In second place is Oh, Dr. Beechin. In third place is Slinger's Day. In fourth place is Heidi High. In fifth place is Sorry. And in sixth place, and the best, is Duty Free.
I know, who'd have thought that when we were watching them?
Correct, yeah. Yeah.
But like we said, folks, there are many, many more to come. We will keep doing this on a weekly basis and keep releasing these episodes. As Stuart said earlier, if you've got an episode you want us to review, please drop a comment. Please
Yeah, please
let
let
us
us
know
know.
usual sort of addresses and links, and we'll look at those as well. I've picked my first choice for next week, and the next season. Season? What am I saying?
Don't go all American on me, Simon.
No, I won't.
We do series, not
We do
seasons.
series. So I have picked the episode we'll be doing for the first episode of series 2. And for you at home, here's a little teaser. So we hope you know what that was. Next week, we'll be releasing a little bonus track. As you've probably gathered from this week's podcast, things don't always go according to plan, and we're not as professional as we often sound. And there have been the odd fluff, off outtake, mispronunciation, and bouts of giggles. Stuart.
Yep, just a few, just a few.
Just a few. We'll put that online for you all to listen to, and we hope you enjoy it. And as always, thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope to see you again in series 2. So, goodbye from me.
And it's ta-ta from me. See you next series.
And instead of a mouth, it's got 4 arses.